Dexter Resurrection returned this week with episode 6 of the show, and I think it's safe to say that it was the best episode of the season so far. That twist at the end was just the chef's kiss, and it was executed in a way that even though there were hints that Gareth could have been a twin, it still managed to catch me off guard. Following the ending, there was a trailer released for episode 7, and we saw that Dexter was becoming sloppy. Mia was apparently dead, Al is just hungry for money still, and I feel like Prater is only a stone's throw away from finding out that Dexter isn't red. So whilst on this retreat, all might be revealed. So with that, I thought I'd break down the trailer for the next episode and also give my theories and predictions on what I think could happen. Here is Dexter Resurrection episode 7 trailer explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. So the trailer opened up with Prater, Al, Gareth and Charlie all going to this mansion that looked like it was in the middle of nowhere. I'm presuming that this is one of Prater's many homes that he has and where the retreat is taking place. The guy is a billionaire and the estate definitely gives off that impression. Prater poured drinks for everybody and said, "Lady Vengeance left us too soon." So it showed that Prater was going to be revealing to the group that Mia was now dead. There were some theories floating around that Mia might well still be alive, but honestly, I just can't really see that being the case. She was as dead as a doornail, and I don't think it looked like a staged death. Unless Prater was aware that Detective Wallace and Batista were going to visit her and were planning on speaking with her, as there was a point made in the previous episode where he said how he had all touch points in the police force and the FBI. Meaning that he knows the ins and outs of everything that was going on. So maybe he did have the heads up, and that's why they made it seem like the death was staged. So you never know, it could be a double bluff. Charlie did also say to Mia that her stay would be as comfortable and as short as possible at the end of episode 5. So I wonder if that was part of the plan and faking her death was a way of getting her out of there quickly and making her stay short. Meaning that the exchanging cash to the prison guard could have been to stage the killing and to get her out, or it simply could have been a kill for hire, which is what it's most likely leaning towards. As they all looked out onto the estate and had a drink in her memory, Dexter looked over at Leon Prater and said, "Did she choose to leave, or was she taken out?" Dexter isn't stupid, and he's probably fully aware of the fact that Prater didn't trust the fact that Mia was behind bars and would be able to spill secrets if she was pressed too hard. Prater's public image is being this good guy and this hero, and he doesn't want that ruined. He's a paranoid man, hence why he also arranged for the other serial killer to be taken out when it was mentioned that he died after 1 day in prison. So I imagine Dexter's gonna do some digging himself when he gets back to New York. He doesn't trust anybody, especially not Prater, but now with Mia being found dead, I imagine his guard is gonna be up even more because he's seen firsthand the touch points that Prater has on both sides of the law. Dining with the serial killers and most likely rolling over in bed to the governor and the commissioner. Following this, we then cut to the police department where we saw that Angel Batista was pressing Detective Wallace over the fact that Mia was dead and she didn't seem too concerned about it. To her, Dexter Morgan is just a name and being placed as a suspect wasn't concrete, it was just a theory that he had. And whilst it helped aid in the case against Harrison, it wasn't anything that they could use. With Ryan's watch being found in Mia's apartment and her no longer being there to be able to speak up, the case against Dexter and Harrison has gone away, for now. Batista said, "Don't you find it a little strange that the security cameras happen to go down?" Which is obviously extremely suspicious, and a detective like Wallace with how in tune she is, you'd assume that she'd take it a lot more seriously and see the suspicious angle to it. However, she responded and said, "We're simply following the evidence where it leads us," which again ties back into the idea of the watch being placed in Mia's and it seeming like she could well be responsible. This is because it was in her trophy box and also because she was known for killing predators and Ryan was one, so it all kind of connects. The only thing going against that is what the potential victim said when he mentioned how he was going to be her first kill in the city. I imagine that will sit in Detective Wallace's mind just a little bit and she'll eventually come round. Batista responded to Wallace and said, "You're being played," and slammed the photo of Dexter down on the table in front of her. I imagine she'll be left with the photo this time, she'll stick on the Bee Gees, and I reckon she'll start to look into the Bay Harbour Butcher and see some similarities which could draw her to Harrison due to the fact that Batista is accusing his father. After this, we then had Al, Gareth and Dexter all sitting around the table at the estate enjoying a drink and some lunch together, and this is where I reckon most of the drama in the episode will come from. There was emphasis on a statue of an angel before this scene unfolded, and angels are often associated with death, so I wonder if in this instance it's alluding to the fact that one of them is going to be killed. Gareth said the line, "Everything keeps going off the rails this year. I keep asking myself, what's different?" This was accompanied with a quick succession of shots that we'll get into, but first I want to address his line of dialogue. He mentioned, "What's different?" Well, the main thing that's different is the fact that Dexter has been brought into the group of serial killers posing as the Dark Passenger and has been basically killing them off or getting them arrested one by one. We've seen two versions of Gareth, one that's more quiet and sits there and observes, and another that's rather paranoid and cautious. So here, I think we could be seeing the one from episode 4 that was very observant of Dexter the first time that we met him. In the most recent episode, the twin that we saw was more vocal and wasn't as wary, so I think this is the original Gareth that we met. He had suspicions about Dexter in that episode with the odd look and glare that he'd give him, so I wonder if he's onto him in some way. This could ultimately be why the trailer ended up erupting. There were 2 shots of Dexter posing as Red when Gareth said something's different, so the identity of Dexter is something that's key to why Gareth is feeling the way that he is. The shots of Dexter posing as Red is something that I reckon connects to Charlie saying to him, "Bring your trophies and your toolkit." So I'm guessing they're going to be doing a demonstration of how they kill. These quick succession of shots consisted of Prater up close talking to somebody. I imagine this could be Dexter, and Dexter could be speaking with Prater in revealing the true identity of the Gemini Killers and that there's 2 of them. There was also a shot of somebody smashing a glass, and this person was dressed all in black, and it was from the lunch, so I wonder if this is going to be Gareth. There was one of Charlie pointing a weapon towards somebody, most likely Gareth or Dexter, especially if the situation gets out of hand, and there was also one of Dexter looking like he'd been knocked to the ground. So it makes me think that there's going to be some kind of disagreement around the table, or I wonder if Gareth could be doing his demonstration. The final line in the trailer was spoken by Leon Prater, and he said, "You're hiding something from me. Maybe this retreat is going to be shorter than I thought." I think this can be interpreted in a couple of different ways. The first is that Prater could be onto Dexter and his true identity. He could be onto him for a number of different reasons, but one way is that Prater mentioned in the previous episode that he had multiple different touch points throughout the police force. So with Batista going to Detective Wallace and her partner and saying how he thought that Dexter was the Bay Harbour Butcher, word could have gotten to Prater, and he might have found out that there was a new identity surrounding the Bay Harbour Butcher. After all, he is deeply into his serial killers. On a separate note, I do wonder if there's a twist on the horizon where Wallace's partner is linked to Prater in some way. There was also a shot of Al, Gareth and Prater all looking towards Dexter, so that could be a possibility. However, with the episode being called Course Correction, I don't feel like Dexter's true identity will be revealed, as that wouldn't be correcting the course. Correcting it would be steadying the ship and getting back on Prater's side without him thinking that there's anything suspicious about him. Or I reckon this piece of dialogue could be interpreted in a way which is directed towards Gareth. We didn't see who Prater was talking to, which makes me think that it is Gareth, because the obvious answer would be Dexter. We know that Dexter knows that the Gemini Killers operate as a 2, but Prater might not know that. So I wonder if Leon finds out about Gareth being a twin through Dexter, and Dexter could look to reveal that information to him because he feels like they might all be cottoning on to the fact that he isn't Red. So Dexter might throw Gareth in the deep end, and Prater could view the deceit from Gareth as a breaking of the rules, something that he values. Then from there, the trailer came to an end. Honestly, this show is hotting up as the episodes go on. We've got all of the drama going on with Dexter and the gang of serial killers. However, at the same time, we've still got Harrison that's probably going to get a fair amount of screen time as he navigates the darkness that's within him and how he's probably going to end up killing Elsa's landlord. Plus, there's the whole arc around the New York Ripper too, the story that we've had the least information about, so I can't wait for this next episode to be released. So, there you have it, Dexter Resurrection Episode 7 Trailer Explained. If you want to see episodes of Dexter Resurrection being broken down, then check the videos below. What do you think will happen next? Share your thoughts in the comments. As always, thanks for tuning into the video and I'll see you in the next one.